So it's time to accessorise the cub. I've got a few bits and pieces to go on here. You may already notice I've got my quad lock. These seats are coming off. I've got a grey one to put on. Let me show you what we've got. So the obvious, I've got a grey seat from my 2019 bike. I put a dual seat on it and just kept this one. The new owner didn't want it. So that's going on. I've got a centre rack. This is actually a C90 item that I've just modified. I had to shorten those a bit. What else have I done? I've cut some returns off of here that were sharp. Makes it easier to clean, to get your hand in there without gashing your hand on these edges. And I had to make up 2 new brackets to go on there. So that's going on. Tom mount. I'm just going to use a simple mirror mount on the ball. That one there, that one there. Quite simple that'll be. Wiring it up won't be so simple, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Heated grips. These are just cheap Chinese ones. They were only 12 quid. But I've had these before, they've lasted well. Personally, I think they're better than Oxford. Oxford grips don't last long, in my view. I've used them before and they only last a year or 2 years at the most. And the beauty of this one is you've got no horrible control box. The control is there. And it's got a throttle tube. So I haven't got to cut the grip off, just change the tube. So I've used these before. You get them on eBay, about 12 quid. Highly recommended. Side stand. This was on eBay as well. This was about 15 quid, I think. It's had a bit of use, it's worn. It's from a CBR 600. I'm going to make that fit. Again, it's something I've done before. I'll just use my welding and fabrication skills to refurb it and make it fit. So to fit the centre rack, I'm just using these bolts here. Very simple. So that's the first modifications. Personally, I really like that grey seat. The red is too leery for my liking. And the centre rack fits really nicely. Sturdy, that is strong. I like it. and the grey seat. Yeah, it doesn't hark back to the original like the red seat does. But personal opinion, I know it's going to be divided. So the quad lock's on, just a mirror mount. It's not wired in yet. I'm not looking forward to taking this lock to pieces to wire it in. Same with the heated grips. Yeah, I think to get this off you have to take the garnish off the front. They call that a garnish for some reason. Doesn't look like a plate of salad, does it? And the chrome bezel has to come off. Yeah, not really looking forward to that. But it's one of those jobs that have got to be done. So I'm tackling the side stand. First job. So I've got the CBR 600 prop stand. I've cut the foot off because it was manky and this is too long anyway. So the top part of the stand I've modified. I just chopped some of it off. Cleaned it up a bit. I've got it in position on the footrest bar. And I'm just going to tack weld it into position and then test fit it, make sure it's all okay, and then weld it up. Take it off and weld it up. And obviously give it a coat of paint. I have disconnected the battery, by the way. So I'm just putting a couple of tack welds on, just to hold it in place really, while I test it. That should hold it. So I'll just get it off the centre stand and give that a try. So the stand is miles too long. I need to cut at least an inch off of it. So I've made a foot to go on the bottom. I must have cut about 3 or 4 inches off of that. Yeah, cut a hell of a lot off. But the length and angle is about right now. Just going to tack weld that foot on, then take the whole lot off and weld it properly. so we're all tack welded in. Just going to take it off, fully weld it, paint it, job done. So it's the next day now. The paint's dry. Looks alright, doesn't it? Take this masking off. So the spring needs assembling at the same time as this goes on, so I don't have to mess about trying to pull the spring on, because as we know, springs are a nightmare. It'd be nice to have a nice new nut on there, wouldn't it? Yeah, this old one, it's not great, is it? But like all jack bikes, these are fine thread. That's quite a special nut, that is. Yeah, that'll have to do. That'll be alright. So that's 14. And there we have it. One side stand for the use of. Total cost about 15 quid. So there we have the finished article. Not too bad, is it? Saved myself a fortune by doing that myself. Although I am a qualified welder, so, you know, I find this sort of thing easy. But it's not beyond the capabilities of your average backyard mechanic, as the Americans like to say. Yeah, if you've got a welder, it's not rocket science. Have a go at it. Save yourself a fortune. So the postman has just arrived and brought my nice new screen all the way from Japan. It's an Ashai. I've had one of these before. That's fantastic service from WeBike. That was a week. I ordered that on Monday. Arrived on Friday. So that's it. It's a very sleek, aerodynamic design. All made in Japan. Top quality stuff. You can't go wrong buying from WeBike Japan. They don't sell rubbish, unlike some of the Thailand places. Some of their stuff is okay. But all this WeBike stuff, you know, the Japanese stuff, is all made to OE spec. You know, it's always top-notch quality. You're going to pay, you know, you're going to pay a lot more money, but look what you get. You know, you always get what you pay for. Let's get these mirrors off. Luckily I haven't wired that up yet. So after a bit of faffing around, I've discovered the black spacers you get for here are the wrong thread. So they don't fit. So I've had to use the original ones. But this is the screen, look, dinky little thing. It's lovely, isn't it? Really sleek and aerodynamic. As usual, I've done the bloke thing and not looked at the instructions. So that's phase one of the accessories complete. Quite pleased with that side stand. Centre rack, grey seat, and the Ashai screen. Yeah, like that. So part two will be heated grips, some sort of USB power source and an accessory cable for charging and what have you. Maybe another rack, bigger rack, some pannier mounts of some sort. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.